Before the main film of life begins, every parent stars in their own little trailer. Dramatic, emotional, sometimes comic, often chaotic. So let's be clear, parenting is not a job, it is not a duty. It is a privilege, the privilege of holding life in your hands without owning it. A child does not come from you, they come through you, like a guest who walks into your home, stays for a while, and then creates their own world. You don't own them, you're simply the doorway through which life chose to arrive. But what do most parents do? They write the whole script before the child even speaks their first word. This is how you will behave, this is who you will become, this is what success looks like. No. Your role is not to direct, your role is to light the path and step aside. Don't aim to raise obedient children, the world has enough of those. Raise conscious human beings who can see, feel, and respond to life, not just follow commands. And remember this, your child does not learn from your advice, they learn from your energy. You can say all the right things, but if your presence is bitter, angry, anxious, that's what they become. You see, parenting is not about controlling someone else. It's about refining yourself so deeply that the child grows in the fragrance of your awareness. You worry so much, what if they fail? What if they get hurt? What if they don't become something great? But listen carefully, your anxiety is not parenting, it is your own insecurity wearing the mask of love. Let them fall, let them fly, let them find. You are not the sculptor, you are the soil. Be rich, be alive, and let them root and rise. Because this was only the trailer. The real film begins when you stop trying to be a parent and start being fully human. Parenting is not ownership, it is a privilege to nurture life. The moment a child is born, many parents begin to believe, this is my child. Not in a way of love, but in a way of possession. They think they can mold, control, and shape this life exactly the way they wish. But life cannot be possessed. Even your own breath does not belong to you, it comes and goes. How then can another life be yours? You did not create life. You only became a doorway for it to enter this world. It is like being chosen by existence to hold something sacred for a short while. The child does not belong to you, they belong to life. You are not the sculptor carving a statue. You are the gardener nurturing a seed you did not design, with no idea what kind of tree it may become. To parent consciously means to recognize this. Your role is not to impose, but to support. Not to dictate, but to discover. It is a chance to witness a life unfold not under your control, but in your care. This is not a burden. It is not an achievement. It is a privilege, a rare invitation by life itself, asking, will you hold this with gentleness? Will you guide without gripping? Will you love without owning? When you see it this way, parenting is no longer stressful. It becomes sacred, a moment-to-moment offering not of your commands, but of your presence. Children come through you, not from you. This may sound strange at first, but look at it closely. You did not design the child. You did not write the intelligence that runs their heart, their breath, their being. That spark of life, that consciousness, is not your creation. You were simply chosen as the passage, the channel through which a life could step into this world. Once they arrive, what do? We begin to stamp our ideas, our fears, our ambitions onto them, as if they were some kind of blank canvas waiting to be painted by our expectations. But they are not empty. They arrive full of potential, full of uniqueness, full of their own journey. The tragedy is, most parents don't see this. They confuse the biological process with ownership. Just because a child carries your genes does not mean they are an extension of your desires. They are not your second chance at success. They are not your unfinished dream. They are life raw, alive, mysterious, and it is your task only to support that unfolding, not to shape it into a replica of yourself. A conscious parent learns to listen before they speak, they observe before they impose, they understand that this child may walk paths they never imagined, and that's not failure, that's beauty. When you truly grasp that children come through you, you stop trying to control them. You start honoring them, you become a presence of love, not a shadow of control, and in doing so you grow. Because parenting, in its deepest sense, is not about raising someone else. It's about raising your own awareness so that life can blossom around you freely and fully. Don't raise obedient children, raise conscious human beings. Obedience may look like a virtue, but if it comes without awareness, it is dangerous. A child who blindly follows instructions may survive, but they may never truly live. The world has followed orders for centuries, and in that obedience, we've seen wars, injustice, and suffering. What the world needs now is not more people who comply without question, but people who can see, who can feel, who can respond with clarity and courage. When you push a child only to obey, you may succeed in creating discipline, but you also risk creating fear. They may become efficient, but not joyful. They may fit into society, but never discover their soul. They may do what is right in your eyes, but never ask what is right in their own heart. To raise a conscious child is to allow space for questions. It is to welcome disagreement, to nurture curiosity, to let them explore not only the world but also their inner landscape. This does not mean chaos. It does not mean lack of boundaries. It means your discipline is rooted in understanding, not authority. It means you are not demanding respect, you are embodying it. You must remember the child is not a project. You are not here to manufacture them into something. You are here to help them realize who they already are. That can only happen when you are willing to let go of control and instead become a mirror, silent, steady, and honest. Your child watches your being, not your words. You can say all the beautiful things, teach them kindness, honesty, courage, but if your presence does not reflect it, they will not hear you. Children do not learn through instruction, they absorb through observation. Your frustration becomes their language, your peace becomes their atmosphere. What you are speaks so loudly, they often cannot hear what you say. If you tell a child not to lie, but they see you twisting truth to escape situations, they learn deception. If you speak of love but constantly react in anger, they learn conflict. You may try to discipline them, but they are simply mirroring the undisciplined parts of you. A child's learning does not begin in the classroom, it begins in your presence. This is why parenting is not about perfect words or flawless rules. It is about the energy you hold in each moment. Do you meet their mistakes with awareness or with judgment? Do you create a space of openness or one of fear? Your presence is the invisible curriculum from which your child studies every day. So if you want your child to grow with strength, you must stand with humility. If you want them to be free, you must not live in your own prisons of fear and expectation. The transformation begins not with changing the child, but with transforming the parent. When your being becomes calm, compassionate, alert, the child drinks from that silently. No need to preach, no need to push. What you are is already shaping them. Parenting is not a role, it's a constant self-reflection. Most people think parenting means putting on a mask of authority, pretending to have all the answers, pretending to be strong, pretending to be in control. But children are not fooled by masks. They see right through the performance. What they respond to is authenticity, and for that, you must be willing to look within yourself. Every reaction you have toward your child is not about them, it is about you. If their loudness irritates you, it is your restlessness speaking. If their failure disappoints you, it is your own fear of inadequacy echoing back. The child does not trigger something new in you, they reveal what was always there, hidden under layers of adult distraction. So parenting is not about fixing the child. It is about observing yourself, your emotions, your patterns, your expectations as they come alive in that relationship. Every day, your child gives you the opportunity to confront your own unconsciousness. Are you using it? When you stop playing a role and start living in awareness, the whole experience of parenting transforms. You are no longer trying to be a good parent. You are simply being a conscious human being in front of another life. And that presence, that honesty, becomes the greatest gift you can offer. Children don't need perfect parents. They need real ones who are humble enough to grow alongside them. Your anxieties are not parenting. They are your insecurities. Often what we call care for our children is not care at all. It is fear dressed in the language of love. You worry constantly. What if they fail? What if they make mistakes? What if they don't turn out the way you imagined? And then, out of that worry, you begin to control. You begin to push, to protect, to interfere, but understand this: your fear does not protect the child, it only cages them. What they need is not your anxious energy, but your quiet confidence. They need to feel that you trust life, that you trust them. Without that, they begin to doubt themselves, not because they are incapable, but because you were always afraid they would be. Parenting from fear creates fragile children. Parenting from awareness creates resilient human beings. If you want your child to stand strong in the world, you must first sit still within yourself. You must resolve your own inner noise before you try to direct another life. This means you must ask yourself, am I guiding them from clarity or from panic? Am I teaching them to walk tall, or am I just trying to prevent them from falling? Because if your actions are rooted in your wounds, no matter how noble they appear, they will only pass on the same patterns. Let parenting be an act of trust, not of tension. You are not here to shield them from life, you are here to prepare them for it, and for that, your own courage is the first lesson they will ever study. So, what is parenting, really? It is not a role you play, it is not a script you follow. It is a profound invitation to nurture without possessing, to guide without controlling, to love without fear. A child does not come to fulfill your dreams or repair your past. They come to live their life, and if you are willing, they will teach you how to live yours more honestly. Parenting is not about raising someone else, it is about rising within yourself. To be still when chaos erupts. To be kind when resistance appears, to be present when the world demands distraction. This is not a performance. This is not a duty. It is a sacred offering to hold a life gently in your presence and then gracefully let it go. If you can do this, even a little, you have not just raised a child, you have uplifted a soul, and that is the true art of parenting.